Coach, 1-1 in Brooklyn. What was your biggest takeaway in terms of, I maybe didn't know this about my team going in, but I do now?
Well, that we are really competitive. We bounced back after pretty much getting our tails kicked on Monday by a really good team.
Yeah.
A&M's really good. I think people will find that out as the season goes along. And they're playing without one of their best players. But for our team to bounce back less than 24 hours later and play with as much competitiveness, as much fire, and as much passion as they did, really impressed me.
You got Jeffrey Carroll back, obviously. That's, I think the ramifications of that are pretty obvious. But what does he do that helps the team that maybe fans or people watching the game don't see?
Well, everybody knows he's a good player, right?
Yeah.
And so when you take a guy who averaged 17 points a game away, you got to find other guys to maybe step up in roles that they're not necessarily comfortable with yet. Not that they won't be over time, but, and we obviously didn't prepare to not have him until recently, right? So it was an adjustment on every phase. But he's a really good scorer. He's a guy who can create baskets in a lot of different ways. Obviously, really an elite jump shooter, but he got to the rim, he got to the free throw line because he was aggressive on the offensive glass. So that's one of the things he brings to us that we were missing.
How impressed have you been with Brandon Everett this year?
Really impressive. His assist to turnovers is the number that jumps out at you. He's taking care of the ball. He's playing with a lot of confidence. And off the bench, he's provided a big spark for us, both offensively and defensively.
Do you like playing him and Kendall Smith at the same time? Is that something that you guys think you're going to do?
I do. I love to have two guys who can be good decision makers on the court at the same time. Guys who can create for not only themselves, but for others. We can do a lot of different things. We can on the floor together defensively. Then we can spread the floor and play really fast on the offensive end because they both can push.
Yeah. Cameron Griff seemed like he had a pretty good week, especially offensively up there. What has he done this year that's been a big improvement, do you feel like, from last year? Yeah.
Just bumps last year.
Yeah.
Lack of confidence. And now he's just going out there and playing like a sails on fire, which is where he's going to be his best, playing with great energy. That he brings to our team that ignites us on more than before.
You guys struggled a little bit with the interior defense, obviously against Texas A&M. They're pretty good. How in the Big 12? There's a lot of good big men in the Big 12. What do you do strategically to shore up that defense on the interior?
Well, we got to continue to build our depth.
Yeah.
We're playing Randy Wallace inside, which is not necessarily ideal at this level of college basketball. So when we get Dillon back, which we hope is soon, and young Kuba, which we know won't be for a couple weeks.
Right.
We got a little bit more toughness, a little bit more physicality inside. But at some point, we may have to double the post. It looks that way, or maybe just find a way to maybe speed up the game and extend the floor to keep those bigs from being too effective.
Yeah. Do you have any update on Devon Dillard?
Yeah, he's been reinstated now, and not sure if he'll play tomorrow, but he's available to us. We'll see how far along he is in terms of understanding our schemes and all that stuff and being ready to play.
Okay. And then you're 5 games into your career as a coach. Has there been anything that's surprised you? I know you've watched it all as an assistant, but just being the guy, what has surprised you the most about being the head coach?
I think one of the things is that our guys have been really receptive to my coaching, to the adjustments that we made from game to game. And you never know when you really have to get on a guy and play the bad cop, how guys will respond. But after Monday night was a pretty brutal film session on Tuesday morning, and to see those guys respond the way they did was very comforting to me.
Offensively, you guys been solid defensively, getting after it. Offensively, have you guys done everything that you've wanted to do? How is the implementation? Because it looks like you're running a different offense than Brad Underwood. Has that gone the way you've wanted it to?
Yeah, it's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
Again, when you got so many moving parts, we're out Zach Dawson for his first game.
Yeah.
We're out Jeff for 3 games. And Devon's still not here. So we're still trying to figure ourselves out. We'd like to play much faster than we're playing.
Okay.
And that's something that we've tried to emphasize the last few days in practice, is getting out and getting more opportunities in transition.
Yeah. And then I can't remember my last one. I had one more and I can't remember it.
I got one for you. Every team kind of plays a little different. It's a different challenge. Houston Baptist is big on the offensive glass, a top 10 offensive rebounding team in the country. What kind of challenge did they present for your squad?
Oh, first of all, they're really good offensively in general. They're a team that plays really, really fast. They pass the ball really well. They run a little variation of the offense that we ran here last year, and then 3 years of Stephen F., where they lift the floor and play at the rim a lot. So it poses a challenge in us trying to protect the basket and playing inside out defensively, but also we can hope that our defensive ball pressure can be disruptive against them. And then once we force back shots, we got to have 5 guys being committed to blocking out and rebounding because they're really good on the offensive glass.
And then I remember my last one. After Texas A&M, you said Louisiana is unacceptable, and I think that was something that really resonated with a lot of fans, and people liked hearing that. Where does that come from with you? What is that? Is that something that you picked up from other coaches, or where does that come from?
Well, that's who I am. I mean, I'm a guy who I want to win in everything I do. I'm really competitive, and I believe that if we work hard and play the right way, the opponent's kind of secondary to me, to the way we play. And if we play the right way, we think we'll get the results that we want more often than not. And certainly Texas A&M had a lot to do with why we didn't play well on Monday. But I feel like we gave in a little bit when things got tough, and that's not what we're about here.
Okay. Cool.